Flowers.
Yeah, you got to know yourself. That way, when you reach that, he can go give you that fruit. You can give him the fruit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah.
you know how they say know thyself. Well, when they say she got to know her husband, or he or she got to know his, so
That's an
knowing
intimate.
that's
Intimate. You see what I'm saying? That's intimate. When you get to know, both of y'all know each other intellectually, intuitively, and
Intimate.
that's your mate. You see? Intellect, equally yoked. That's
what's
your
your
mate. Very intimate. In tie mate.
Intimate.
Inner chords. You know what I'm saying? In
Into our
tie.
mate.
Kai, yeah,
Yeah.
that's your mate. Yeah. That's the mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we love this wordplay shit.
You're A
Intimate.
all day. Shit.
Intimate.
All day.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
We becoming one because we intimate.
Yeah.
Into it. Becoming one.
Into
Into
it.
it.
Right. There you go. In, in,
Yeah.
in, tie, or T. You can say T. Either way. You want to
Intimate.
change it up a
To it.
little bit. In, tie.
Uh-huh.
And what happens when you mate? Even animals do that shit. Animals mate. They come together and they make more animals.
Yeah.
All kinds of different shit.
intimate?
Some say
Yeah. Like an intimate,
man, this
beautiful.
wordplay is beautiful.
Ultimate.
Yeah, right,
Ultimate.
ultimate. That's where you alter. You go choose another mate.
Then you put
The
the then you got
ultimate.
Another
the
mate.
ultimate intimate. What's the
It's a-
ultimate intimate? That's the God mate.
Mm.
yeah.
The ultimate mate of intimate is mating with God,
All the time.
becoming one,
Becoming one.
and all day, every day.
Mm. Yes, indeed.
Mm.
Yes, indeed.
Balancing the dualities now,
Yeah.
because that's what we talked
Yeah,
about yesterday as far as our gateway. Exercise helps you to become familiar with, so you can recognize when you're actually in that duality. So the more you do it, the quicker you can recognize you're in that space, in
Mhm.
that God source space, in that vortex,
and the
walking in the
devil
spirit.
source space at the same time.
Well, it's all in your choices.
Yep.
It's
So
the
yes,
duality,
that
epitome
gateway
of
does
duality.
you. Yes. So you can pick and choose. I'm gonna be a good little one today. I'm gonna be a bad little one tomorrow, or whatever the case is. You have the choice at all
Right.
times.
Including the choice not to label anything bad or good,
Thank
but
you.
simply
Thank you.
it is what it is.
Woo.
Thank
That's the
you.
ultimate choice.
That
That's the ultimate
Okay.
intimate because you're one with all things. It's like it's
one
not
with
good or
all.
Well,
bad. It just is.
You
there's a
bet your
chance
tits.
that the balance is there, but you actually always everything. If there's a good, it's like the yes and the no.
Right. So
You
the
know.
balance is all yes and all no. All good, all bad. You
Right.
know?
At the same
Or
time.
or no good, no bad. Which one you want to pick? It don't matter.
Right.
These are labels. You
Right.
just made that shit up. Good and bad. You made that up based on how you're feeling at the moment. You see what I'm saying? It's a
Right.
whim.
And
It's a
that shit
whim.
could change.
Right. That shit could change. Let the wind
And
blow
and
that
it
way.
does
All
change
of a
based
sudden.
upon human nature.
Exactly. So you gotta know how to move in that. Watch the shit. Watch the signs. Now watch
That's
the
right.
signs. Yeah.
That's back to that feather. My person now it goes to Haru, the hawk,
Mm-hmm.
or the falcon or the phoenix, the prey bird, that hawk, the eagle.
Mm-hmm.
That's Yeshua, the hero.
Mm-hmm.
That hawk is just, yeah, man, be ever vigilant, seeing, observing, not
Highest hidden
moved by anything,
potential.
but just seeing both sides.
Yep. Yep.
Yep, yep. You
That's
see
the
both
highest
sides and you make a
potential.
choice based upon what you see and what need to happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The highest potential. So when we talking about the hawk,
Mhm.
that's at the top of your body. That's in your head. You got wings at that point. Birds of prey, they fly powerfully. Eagles, they got large wingspan, so they can handle the storms. They can fly through the storm. They fly into the storm. Kind of like the bison, how the bison goes into the snowstorm, because they know if you go into it, it'll pass faster. You see what I mean? So there's all kinds of intelligences that are there that we unlock and tap into as we continue to gain, just pick it out, play with it, talk about it. Everybody is very intelligent. You just have to talk about that fact. You see, very, very smart people.
Right.
Everybody's very smart. Your intuition is on point. It's clicking at different points, and make it make sense. Connect the dots.
Yeah. Connecting dots now when you said about that, remind about how the eagle, the prey birds go into the storm.
Yeah,
But didn't know about the bison do the same thing, but it makes sense. And there's
yeah,
got to be a sea animal that would go to the mother hurricane too. There's got to be animals that go to it.
yeah,
And then we said, because they know when you go to it, you come out faster because you just pass through it. Oh, we back
yeah,
now. Which
yep,
is why that thing of going inside, facing your fears. Don't bury the shit because it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. You run from it, it's chasing you. You're gonna be in it for a while. But if you face it, sit down with it, feel it, let it like what this shit feel like. Be
yep,
with it. It'll
yep,
pass through right on quickly.
yep.
Some good shit.
Yeah, man.
Man.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you mentioned you mentioned the sea. Oh, some good shit. You mentioned the sea. The
Yeah.
sea.
It's in the air.
Yeah, it's like a sea animal that goes through and does all kinds of wild stuff, right? So you got a marlin, right? A marlin, that fish can swim 50 to 60 miles an hour, right? That's that swordfish with the long
Like a
sword.
cheetah.
Right, just all through there.
That's the cheetah of the sea.
Exactly. And they can only get certain clips of it. You can't get because it's so fast. It's gone. You don't have anything to follow a marlin through the ocean. You know how far these things swim? Like they over here in the Atlantic Ocean,
Uh,
they can swim over to Africa just like that. Be like, yo, we taking a trip. We going. Hit the jump. We gonna get.
ah.
You see what I'm saying? You got connected to everywhere. You're in the
Oh
water.
man. Oh man.
I want to share
Oh
something
man.
about the dolphin.
Mhm.
I don't know, is a marlin a mammal?
No, it's a fish.
Okay, a dolphin is a mammal.
Mammal, yes.
Right. And so, dolphins are considered to be very intelligent.
Yes, they
It
are.
is it is against the law to interact for a human to
Yes.
interact without permission
Mm-hmm.
with a dolphin. The gentleman that began Greenpeace, the gentleman who began Greenpeace, he actually that was something that he actually began training whales and training other mammals, from the sea, and he saw that the intelligence was there. He was able to harness that intelligence. They made it illegal before he did it, but because he had done so much, it's like now it's prosecutable by law. But he actually he had done some things. They had told him some things,
It was crazy.
and gave him some information, and he wasn't supposed to share it and all that kind of stuff. So they it made it illegal for you to interact with a dolphin because of the secrets that they could reveal to you.
Yeah, dolphins are highly telepathic. They're
Mm-hmm.
very telepathic. So when you got
They
people
made
that
it illegal for the citizens.
right, yeah, because they talk to you. They'll tell you
I have
stuff. They'll tell you about home. Where do you think they got the movie Avatar from? Fucking talking to dolphins. You know what I'm saying? Talking to a
Mm.
dolphin. He told you all that stuff. You think these people just created that stuff? They just made it up with their creative mind? Where do you think they got the stories from? You see what I'm saying? It's like, yo, they can talk to you. They tell you. They people, kids and stuff like that. Kids that are highly telepathic, they talk to them in their head. Adults don't know where the shit came from because adults don't study that shit. They don't study telepathy. They don't know how it is. They talk about it all the time. Mothers, they talk about the connections that they have with their kids and so forth and so on. But they don't associate that with the fact that, yes, you're talking to spirit. It's spirit out there. Same thing. Dolphins are very much capable. Whales are very much capable it's another world that they're in, that we're tapping into. And we think, we in our stuckness,
Yeah.
we like, oh yeah, well, whatever. No, that ain't real. Nigga, how the fuck did you think that shit if it ain't real?
Yeah, they communicate in frequency. And I would liken it to when a infant is in the womb, how they communicate. It actually can hear what the mother is saying and music and all that kind of stuff, but it is already in constant communication with source, hearing through frequency. In my opinion, that's very similar to what's going on with the dolphin. Although the dolphin makes that sonar noise or that sonic noise more.
That's the same. He's saying the same thing. Sonic, sonar, frequency. That's all sound. All of that's just different ways to say sound. You see what I'm saying? So hard, rough surface, jagged edge. All of these are just different synonyms to say the same thing. So sonar is sound navigation. It's sound. It's sound. That's what bats use. That's why they don't run into things, because they can feel the electromagnetic waves that a particular object carries, which allows them to swerve the other way. That's why they fly so swift and stuff, because they over here. So
Well, now
That's
since
what
you
Ray
brought up,
Charles used, sonar.
right,
When
right.
he was tapping that
Yes.
cane, you can hear that sound come back. Where
Yes.
he at with the cane. That sonar.
Yes.
Ray
Yes.
Charles.
but
Exactly. He explained that in the bus when he was talking to the guy. I read. Yes. Yes.
when COVID came out, initially it was said, or it was, it was said that the bats were, because remember it said it was a bat flu or something. They were saying that it was caused by bats or whatever. At least I don't know if you remember, but I remember that. And
I remember that.
Right.
Yeah. I remember that shit.
but one of the things I found out at that time was that the sonar, the satellite, when it's emitting at 15G, which anywhere from 10 to 15G, it interferes with the bat sonar and it gives them a false signal, because they actually are attracted to that signal. And so that signal is what one of them would be emitting to let them know, hey, I'm over here, come over here with me. And so they were flying into the satellite. They were actually, bombarding the satellite with, hitting it and falling and dying and that kind of thing. They were
Artificial
getting,
resonance.
right, they were getting the sonar that's equivalent to what they would normally be reading, but it was, from a satellite.
Right.
So that's something that I had heard, that frequency also affects us and actually can cause harm in us, which reminds me of when I used to play this sonar thing to get rid of the, mice or rats or whatever. Once I started playing it, that's when I'm in a place where I'm not sure how well I'm received, but the birds started talking to me. The birds started saying, hey, if you keep
Child,
playing
you
that
an it?
noise.
What you mean receive? Nigga, you it.
So
You gonna
the
receive
birds
today.
started
You
telling me,
it.
stop playing that sonar. They said it's not only affecting you, it's affecting the dogs and the cats and everything else in humans. It's affecting me, So the bird said, I need you to stop playing that. And I said, well, I need those squirrels to stop stomping on my ceiling. So the bird bartered a deal and asked the squirrels to stop, dancing on my ceiling. And for 2 years, that agreement, that sacred agreement has held. 7 years I had all this, noise on my ceiling. 7 years. And so finally for 2 years, and that's how I know it was real. Because as of then, when that bird bartered that deal, I hadn't had any more until recently. I've had to actually have a few moments of communication with the squirrels to update them and remind them of that sacred agreement that was made. And as soon as I make that clear to them, then they calm down, which is basically me going
Maybe it's
in
a generational
telepathically.
thing.
Right.
Them little peace
It
trees.
could be, because, it's been
It got
some that
something.
have been born up there.
Okay.
Now, see, you
Got
reminded them of the peace
got some
treaty.
tie-ins.
Exactly. Exactly. And for sacred purposes, I asked, I believe it was maybe I needed every 2 years update the contract.
Yeah,
Have
it
a
would make
re-election.
sense. It would make sense. Yeah.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of that thing is rich, precious mother love. We want to do a recap before we get too far gone, because there's a lot of
Mhm.
connections here. Beginning with the end, the telepathy with the squirrels, going back earlier with the sonar, the sonar and the telepathy. That's who we are, that's what we do, because everything is frequency. We are it.
Frequency.
And
Mhm.
all that exists is energy. Just in one form or another, that's all that exists. We are it. We are energy. We are the totality of all the energy, just in a limited capacity, until we remember that with the fullness thereof. And so, when it was spoke about the law, said it's illegal to do this, that, and the other. This is where we bridge in now. The devil. What's the devil? Which comes up. Precious Mother Love's story is an example. My person give an example, but first it talks about it when she's talked about the frequency to assist the squirrels. There was like some tension going on. Like, nigga, this is my place. You making too much noise. I got shit to do. I'm
Mhm.
it. I got shit to do. You just, nigga, don't want to meditate and shit. You do make another goddamn noise. You got to go. You got to go. And so what she did was to get rid of them. Then she got a word that, hey, that's not the best. That's not the most holistic way to do it. Now at that point, she could have said, who are you to tell her? You ain't got to deal with this shit. And if it's working, we're going to keep doing it. My person saying that would have been the devil. However, God says, well, okay. Well, what's the best way to do it? And she took that advice in a more harmonious way, which included her telepathy of communicating like God and the devil about Job, and like Yeshua about get thee behind me. You just really communicate with the devil for real, for real. Ain't nothing evil. It's just you. So you have a conversation with the stuff in the most harmonious way. And so now the thing was the devil's in you. This is where it gets interesting right here. Because what we're suggesting is that, say, who is the devil? You. Why is that? Because the devil is, we got the yin and the yang. That's as simple as that. If you got
Are
God,
you
what's the opposite of
crazy?
God? The devil. Right. And if God's inside you, the motherfucking devil got to be in there too. Because we even growing up, nigga saying,
Yeah,
oh, ain't nothing but the devil in it. Look, especially
yeah.
down south, ain't nothing but
Oh,
the devil in that boy. You do some shit, there ain't nothing but the devil in that boy. People say the devil in it. Even Yeshua himself had to cast the motherfucking demons out, right? He had to cast the demons out.
well, let
So if
it
there's
go.
demons, and see, it would seem like if angels are in heaven, demons are in hell. And if the
Yeah,
motherfucking demons inside you, evidently hell is inside you too, because they're coming from the hell inside you, coming out. Which is why
yeah.
they
Mm.
say that God, the devil's inside you.
You know,
So there's some shit that just came up and said make it real simple. How this church and
yeah.
devil thing. Right. And so we said, so we said, oh, if the devil's inside, God's inside, so what's the purpose of the devil then? Simple separation. Because creation in and of itself, we say it's an illusion, is not real. That's all that motherfucking devil. Because we saying we separate. We gotta go, we own this motherfucking phone, seeing people over here, we separate. But we
Mhm.
all at the same time we say it's ain't but one love. But nah, nigga, you walk in front of a truck, you may get pounded. That hurt. There's
Mhm.
separation. You touch fire, you get burnt. There's separation. So the devil is simply separation in a sense. In a
Mhm.
sense. However, what most people have done when the devil is at his most extreme, they want to label it as bad because they don't understand the connection of it just the extreme of good, which is the extreme separation. Especially when the human mind get involved, and we says we're going to intentionally separate
Mhm.
to
Right.
cause not a return, not for the evolution of this energy, not to
Mhm.
assist this energy, whether it be the plant, the animal, another human being, not to assist it in returning back to the source, but to assist it in going further away from source, further separation. If the goal is to have you go further away from separation, then we will say, oh, that's the devil, because you're going opposite of God.
Mhm.
However, in order to see the devil, that is separation. In order to see God, that is separation. You can be like, well, we're going to be one with God. That's a separation. So that implies you're the devil because you're separate. So this is how we just simplified. Does that make any sense at all? How God and the devil's on this side. Who the devil is you. If you choose to be intentionally the devil with the extreme form of it, they will say, oh, that's the devil because you going to such an intent, planning out how to separate niggas from being God. They say, oh, that's the devil. And you go just as hard for saying you are it. They say, oh, that's God. That's what I'm saying. I admit we God because we are making that connection, returning back and saying, hey, y'all, let's talk about it because you it. And if you believe you it, let's talk about your journey on being it.
Now, and then
So
to add on to that journey, right?
yeah,
What did he do
right,
when he went? He went out into the desert, right? And he was out there for 40 days
right,
and 40 nights. And then what did he say? He said, get thee behind me, Satan. You see what I'm saying?
right,
When he came, because apparently he
right.
came
Follow
and
me.
tempted him with all kind of shit. He's like, get thee behind me, Satan. Right? Now, that wording was
Right.
kind of funny. Because if that's your enemy, I personally don't want my enemy behind my back. I want to keep that motherfucker where I can see him.
Duh.
You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
that to me automatically like, yo, that's a friend. That's somebody that's like, get thee behind me to give me strength to go through all of this stuff and da da da. But it's a twist or a play. It could be a play on words, or that's the way I see it. It's like
Right.
because he
At
went
this,
out there and he did
yeah.
all that shit.
Right.
Yeah,
At the same time, this is always both of them. At the same time, get thee behind me, like he told the disciple, follow me, and I'll make you fishermen of men. Satan, get behind me, and you good.
You
I'll
same
show you how
thing.
to parlay this thing. Because we know who you are. Follow me. I know you because I am you. I'm gonna show you how to parlay this thing.
Yeah.
And that breaks down to us now, Tony. This is what we saying. Good cop, bad cop. You see this?
Yeah.
Both are needed.
Right.
So it's like if the bad cop come up when ideally maybe the good cop because we got the same goal in mind, it may be perceived as that's the motherfucking devil. That's bad.
Right.
That's bad. It's like that's not how the way the devil uses separation. But there's a time to use the devil's separation to say, hey, boom, this is how you do it. And even Yeshua with that separation metaphor because of the Osirian resurrection story, it's the ego. Satan is the ego. So even at a metaphysical level, when you say get thee behind me, he's saying lower self, follow the higher self. And when the lower self follow the higher self, then you become intimate. Back to intimate. Then when you're intimate with the lower self and the higher self, the God and the devil, then you're one with yourself, which means you're one with all things. And this is why the non-judgment, is when you clarity on non-judgment. Nigga gotta judge some shit now. You gotta judge some shit for real. Yeah, that's the devil. You gotta judge some shit. Now the devil comes when you judge some shit and you want to change it. You have strong passion about want to change it. That may be the devil. However, but just to judge it, I don't fuck with you because that's where you are. That's just separation. Which say I don't fuck with you. In fact, you fucking up. You should be like this. I'm gonna help you be like this because you may not want to be, but I'm gonna help you to change. You don't want to change. That's like that devilish shit. So again, it's like how do you use that separation, which is the devil, so it's not called the devil. It's in harmony, so it's called God.
Match the
There's that
energy.
battle between God and the devil. You use it is what it is. Yeah.
So this
Yeah, drink
this
some
keeps
water
hitting
now.
me
We
now
feel like
because that whole the way
there
you
was a lot
brought
of
that
shit.
in.
It was a little bit of time.
Right. Bro, match the energy. Match the energy. So it's